So there's been a stay on deportations using the Alien Enemies Act. Was it 1798? The Alien and Sedition Acts were very controversial during John Adams' day. That's what got Thomas Jefferson and James Madison to write the Kentucky and Virginia resolutions, which said that whenever the federal government takes powers that is not enumerated to them, then it's up to the states to nullify those illegal laws by the federal government. So let's take a look at this. Here you have the White House account on Twitter, basically just being extremely petty. Fixed it for you, New York Times. Oh, by the way, Chris Van Hollen, he's not coming back. Senator meets with wrongly deported Maryland man in El Salvador. Not wrongly, Maryland man, MS-13 illegal alien who's never coming back. This reminds me of those guys that broke out of a New York prison. Two men had broke out of a New York prison, and then they got away successfully at first, but they left a note. And they left a note and they had a little smiley face on it saying something like, looks like we got away. Na 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 boo boo, we got away. Na 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 boo boo. That's what this is. They broke a 9-0 Supreme Court order, and then after they broke a 9-0 Supreme Court order saying that, Kilmar Abrego Garcia should be facilitated and effectuated, and he should be brought back for a trial, for a hearing. And ultimately, it's so stupid. They are so freaking dumb. Because you deport 220 people and say 10 of them, were innocent, or 10 of them needed to have a hearing, 10 of them were wrongly deported. Just fix your mistake. Just fix your goddamn mistake. What would have been the problem? Okay? So you bring him back, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. You got the evidence, right? So you bring him back. You put him in front of a judge, and you say, here's the evidence, and it's enough evidence to get him deported, and then he gets deported. What's the problem? What's the problem? You could easily right that wrong. You could easily fix that mistake. You could right that wrong. When you make a mistake, just cop up to it. Nobody bats 1,000. So if you make a mistake, just cop to it. You made a mistake, we try to do our best. We try to do a good job. But ultimately, they're not going to fix their mistake. And then because they're doing this nana-nana-boo-boo crap, that's putting salt in people's wounds. It's basically saying, yep, we just disobeyed the Supreme Court. We're breaking the laws. We're a criminal organization. And what the fuck are you going to do about it? Nana-nana-boo-boo. Just like those two guys who broke out of prison. If they would have just broke out, they probably would have been running around somewhere in Nova Scotia. Maybe they would have gone to Greenland or something. But because they wrote that little note saying nana nana boo boo, they eventually got caught and they got sent back. So that's pretty stupid of them to do that. This is crazy. Here's an actual video of that shooter that was walking around, and you got a couple gunshots. Take this video. This is crazy. See this guy right here? Right here. He's walking. He turns, shoots towards these guys right over here. That guy right there. Watch that again. Here he is right there, walking. He turns, shoots. That's nuts. So here's a post about this. I couldn't find the actual Supreme Court order. And I saw a headline that just said they temporarily have halted it, but they're blocking the Trump administration's effort to deport migrants using the Alien Enemies Act, with Justices Thomas and Alito dissenting. This is a big loss. So not only did the Trump administration do nana-nana boo-boo when it came to Kilmar Abrego Garcia, But they pissed off the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court is saying, no, you can't just deport people. The Alien Enemies Act is if we're at war with somebody, then you could deport people. If you're at war with people, you could deport the people that you're at war with. We have not declared war. And like I said, it was controversial during John Adams' time. The Kentucky and the Virginia resolutions was written in response to John Adams. John Adams is going to lose his next election. Jefferson is going to get in there. John Adams only served one term. And I like John Adams a lot in terms of slavery. You had George Washington that owned, 200, 300 slaves, the Fugitive Slave Act, and some other racist shit. John Adams recognized Haiti. John Adams didn't have slaves, didn't own slaves. So when people say, oh, that was just, back then, that's just how things were. No, it wasn't. John Adams was able to make a living without slaves, without enslaving other people. John Adams could make a living without oppressing his fellow human being. Here's another interesting video. Remember, what is this? Boring pole? They dragged this woman out, right? And this whole video is so crazy. She's saying a lot of, good questions. Who the fuck are these men? They don't know. They don't have a badge. And she's asking questions. And the only thing she had said was, is this a town hall or is this a lecture? Because they're saying that it's a town hall. These Republican town halls are going to get, out of hand all across America. And they're going to stop doing these town halls. Because people are pissed. People are pissed at all the massive changes that are happening in the wrong direction. We're not going to be progressive. We're not going to change to make forward progress. We're going to make changes to go backwards. We're going to be a bunch of regressive assholes like Tim Black. So this video, let's watch a little bit of this video. But they got the names. They got the names of these guys. Teresa. Her name is Teresa Borenpole. And it's actually good that she's getting some sort of justice, because as a man, it's hard to watch this. As a man, you're sitting there picking on this woman for what? Speaking? For saying, something? And then look at all these assholes. Everybody's just watching all this violence just happen. They keep pulling at her, tugging her. They're clearly got their hands on her. And then I think that they made a mistake. They shouldn't have charged her at all. They shouldn't have charged her with any crimes at all. They should have, pulled her out of the event, and then if she would have walked away, then just kind of leave it at that. But they're going to arrest her, and they're going to charge her with assault. She was able to do a GoFundMe. She was able to raise, several $100,000, I want to say $300,000 to get a lawyer. And she got some good lawyers, because now she's totally flipped the script on them. Here are the names: Paul Truette, Alex Truette the Fourth, Russell Dune, Chistoffer, not Christopher, but Chistoffer, Burgee, Jesse Jones, and Michael Keller. Battery, false imprisonment, security agent uniform violation, security agent duties violation, battery, false imprisonment, security agent uniform violation, battery, false imprisonment. She's totally flipped the script. Teresa Borenpole has flipped the script on these sons of bitches. It's a big deal to arrest somebody. It's a big deal to put charges on somebody. It's a big fucking deal. And they got some pictures of her when she was out in the lobby, and they're like some of the most beautiful pictures I've ever seen of anybody, really. Teresa Borenpole. Let's watch. Like, hey, don't resist. Don't resist. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. That is what they say to rape victims. Do I have any more? No. So I thought it was big news. The headline is just going to be the Supreme Court decision. The Supreme Court decision, it's a good decision. CNN wrote something up about it. Supreme Court temporarily pauses deportations under the Alien Enemies Act. And they said it was a late night decision. Alien Enemies Act. Alito and Thomas were the dissenters, so that means it's a 7-2 decision. Sweeping 18th century wartime authority. So, they did nana boo-boo with their just one tiny case, which they could have just easily have, fixed their mistake. They could have easily righted their wrong. If they would have just righted their wrong, then we wouldn't have got to this place here. But since they didn't right their wrong, well, now the Supreme Court was saying, well, shit, since these motherfuckers are just criminal motherfuckers, they're just basically throwing a pretense of an argument, throwing some kind of, veneer of a legal argument of why they're going around, disappearing people, kidnapping people, throwing them on planes and sending them to El Salvador. Since they're not offering due process, and since they're arresting American citizens, people that have Social Security numbers and birth certificates, driver's license, they have all the documentation that say that they are Americans. You're also throwing people away for free speech. They speak out against the genocide of Palestine. They're just doing so fucking much. They're doing so fucking much. They're doing too much. So now the Supreme Court, I even heard that the Supreme Court had, ruled before that, maybe you could use the Alien Enemies Act, kind of leaning towards the Trump administration, but now they're flat out against it. Now we're going to go ahead and issue this stay. We're issuing an injunction. You can't deport people using the Alien Enemies Act. You got to use some other fucking law. You got to use some other fucking law. The Alien Enemies Act, because this is a war, this is an invasion. Have we declared this war yet? And so they're not using this, 18th century law, this 1798 law anymore. So this is a big news. All around, let's take a look at this Teresa Boren poll. Because I'm telling you, I think it's just, the ideal of standing up against fascism. When you stand up against fascism, that's the ideal man, that's the ideal woman, that's the ideal person. Resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. God doesn't want us to be victims of some fucking fascist fuck that wants to tug at us and pull us out and, humiliate us and arrest us for what? She asked the question, is this a town hall or is this a lecture? Why did you say it was a town hall and then, go after people? Why did you do that? That makes no damn sense. So I keep thinking about these pictures because, look how lovely she looks. She just looks absolutely lovely. She's resisting tyranny, and she's asking the right questions, like, who the fuck are you? They're not identifying themselves. They're not saying who they are. Here he's got his hand on her foot, right? She just, looks lovely with her hair all, down by her face. So I'm glad she's getting some justice as well. This is fantastic. This is great, great news. These motherfuckers think that they could just manhandle somebody without identifying themselves. They had no security badge, no security name. They didn't say who they were. They didn't say what authority they had to use. They're definitely not pointing to any law whatsoever. Well, according to Municipal Code 4562, no. She said something. She said something maybe out of turn, and this is a, kiss the Republicans' ass rally. So apparently she didn't, understand that. So she said something that this kiss the Republicans' ass rally, And then I remember the speaker was just going on and on, being like, see, this is what they do, this is who they are, and he was being like a damn child as well. It's interesting how the pot calls the kettle black. That whole thing, every accusation is a confession, so when it's like, look at them, they're just acting like petulant children. Who's acting like a petulant child? You think that you get to just go around putting your hands on people and dragging people out because you didn't like what they said? The whole point of the fucking First Amendment is to protect speech that you do not like. Was she threatening people? Was she saying that there was a fire in the middle of the building? So, not threatening people, not issuing fighting words. All she was saying was, this is supposed to be a town hall, not a lecture. So good on Teresa Bourne-Pole. You know, they had to fucking put charges on her. Really fucking important to put charges on her. Well, shit. Looks like they just got a couple fucking charges slapped on them. Stupid motherfuckers, man. People just push shit too fucking far. They just push shit too fucking far. It's like, well, let's just be safe and throw a bunch of felony fucking charges on her. You know, let's just be safe and na-na-na-na boo-boo. Na-na-na-na boo-boo. We pulled you out, made you look stupid. Na-na-na-na boo-boo. You saw the people in the audience making their stupid ass faces and their stupid comments. And people are just fucking pricks, so maybe, I don't know, having a fascist in office is getting the American people to wake up. What is important about this country? I think fighting a revolution in the name of the Constitution is a most welcomed revolution. I'm not anarchist or communist just yet. Right now I'm just saying we should defend the Constitution. The enumerated powers, the three branches of government, the rule of law, elections, all these things are there to prevent tyranny from happening. We're supposed to be a free country. You can't have tyranny. That's the whole point of this country, is to stop tyranny. We don't need a monarchist, autocratic dictator, you know?